Hey y'all, so welcome to my labor and delivery vlog. I do not know what type of timetable we are on, but I am starting to experience some symptoms and I feel like rather started early than started late. It is currently 4:20 p.m. on Thursday, July 10th. I'm actually due, technically 40 weeks pregnant, July 14th, Sunday, July 14th. So just a few days. I'm currently 39 weeks, 4 days pregnant. So yes, let me show y'all. This is the bump. I think that I've dropped some, but like this is the top of my uterus. So a lot of people are like, yeah, you're still pretty high, but to me, like I feel a lot of pressure and I can definitely tell that my stomach has shifted downward. But anywho, so the reason why I decided to go ahead and start this vlog is because this morning I went for a walk. I go for a walk every single morning, or at least I try to. I felt great, went and got some coffee, came home, started work, was feeling good. Then I felt like I needed to go to the bathroom. Now, I had been having Braxton Hicks contractions, and if you've never been pregnant before or you're a first-time mom, it feels like your uterus gets really tight. So your stomach just gets really tight all over. The further that I have gotten through pregnancy, like my stomach gets really tight, but there's also like this downward pushing kind of feeling. And so they've become more uncomfortable. They were painless at first, but now they are a little bit painful. And they also just make me feel like I need to go to the bathroom. And this is TMI, but yeah, they make me feel like I need to do number 2 because like everything is pushing down. So anyways, I'm having those and I get up to go to the bathroom, and when I wiped, like, first of all, okay, this is very invasive, but it's a labor and delivery vlog, so I'm hoping that this is all women and we're girls, okay? We get it. So something fell out when I stood up and it looked like it was a mucus plug. Like it was like this brown kind of thin thing that fell into the toilet. Yeah, I'll stop there because it's just a lot. But anyways, then I wiped and there was a ton of mucus, like, and it was bloody. And so it kind of scared me because I was like, oh my gosh, like hopefully nothing's wrong. And so I kept wiping and it just kept coming. Like it was just a lot of mucus with like blood mixed in. It was like, it became like a pink tinged mucus, but at first it was like kind of reddish. So yeah, I just grabbed a pad that I had in my bathroom and I wiped until I couldn't see anymore. And then I just like kind of looked and I was like, okay, it's stopped. Like the bleeding has stopped. So I would have been more alarmed if it kept bleeding, but it didn't. And because I've been like reading up on things and my sister has lost her mucus plug in her pregnancy and just talking to other moms and things like that, I figured it was my mucus plug, but I did, ooh, I'm having a Braxton Hicks right now. I think that's what these are, y'all. I don't even know. Yeah, okay. So I called the doctor just to let them know what was going on. I actually have an appointment tomorrow at 3 p.m. where I was like, okay, I'm going to be 39 weeks, 5 days. I'm just going to ask them to do like a membrane sweep. Just to kind of get things going, because the last 2 weeks that I've been to the doctor, so like last week and the week before last, I was only 1 centimeter dilated both times. And I was like, let's just maybe do a membrane sweep. But now that I've lost my mucus plug, I'm just gonna have them check and see how dilated I am. Actually, I'm just like, I'm so uncomfortable, y'all. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to my appointment, but we'll see. Another thing to note is I have nothing to compare this to. Like, yes, I have another child. I am not a first-time mom, but in my first pregnancy with my son, I didn't technically like I went into labor naturally because my water broke, but I mean, that was all that happened. I had a premature rupture of membranes at 37 weeks, 1 day pregnant. So yeah, my body like didn't technically like dilate on its own and all of those things. I got the epidural like pretty early on. So what I'm experiencing right now, I say all that to say, what I'm experiencing right now, like the tightening and the discomfort, the lower back pain, I'm like, is this signs of early labor? Like, I don't know, because I didn't experience that in my first pregnancy. So I have this app on my phone that I have been using, contraction timer that I have been using. I don't know if y'all can see it. But I was using it earlier, and I just feel a lot of pressure and a lot of back pain. I was using it earlier, but my contractions were pretty inconsistent and they were like 30 seconds. And my midwife told me to go by the 5-1-1 rule, where they're 5 minutes apart, lasting at least a minute for at least an hour before you decide to go into the hospital. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. When they become more regular, then I will hop back on and update you all. So we will see what happens. Like, I'm gonna try to just finish out my workday at home and get some rest. Thankfully, I was like in preparation mode, so I have a ton of food prepared for both me and my husband and our toddler in the fridge. Everything is ready for his grandma to come watch him while we go to the hospital. So really it's just like a waiting game at this point, but I'll check back in if anything changes. Hey y'all, so update. I am definitely having, I'm definitely having contractions. They are definitely regular. I've been timing them on an app on my phone. They're every 4 to 6 minutes now. It's now 11:09. I called my mother-in-law. My husband is going downstairs to get her right now. So she's gonna stay with our toddler overnight. And we are gonna go ahead and head into the hospital and see, like, I'm pretty sure I'm in active labor, but we're gonna see how dilated we are and all the things, get the ball rolling. And I give hats off to every natural mom, but I am like, let's get to this hospital so I can get this medication. Hopefully I'm progressed enough to like make that decision comfortably, but I like, oh my gosh, very, very painful. The contractions, like when I'm not having one, I'm completely fine. Like as of right now, I'm fine. I feel fine. I feel like I can just like walk around, do all the things. But then when I'm having one, it's like, ooh, it's a lot of lower back pain that no matter what you do, like nothing alleviates it. Tightening of my stomach, that's just really is like, I just feel it all in my back. I feel a lot of back pain. So yeah, our bag is completely packed and ready to go. I made breakfast and snacks for my toddler for whenever he wakes up. Hoping that he has a good morning when he wakes up and realizes that neither of his parents are here. But yeah, we're about to leave. Okay. Hey y'all, so I am officially in triage. I have a nurse who came to hook me up to the monitor, and I gave a urine sample, and she said a midwife is going to be in to see me soon. So I'm excited. in to get checked and see how far dilated I am. She said after the midwife comes to see me, Isaac, my husband, can come back with me. He's right now, like, he's in the waiting room. So I'm like, oh, I hope it's soon because I just want him to be with me. It is officially 12:08 a.m. My contractions are still about every 4 to 6 minutes apart. I was really nervous about coming to the hospital too soon, but I feel like we're right on time, and it would be great if I had the baby before 8 a.m. That way we can go get our toddler, and like as soon as he wakes up in the morning, and my husband can bring him up here to meet his sibling. But we'll see how everything goes. You all can hear their heartbeat in the background from the monitor. It's so strong, and the nurse was like, your baby's moving all over. So yeah, I just can't wait to meet this little rambunctious child of mine and see if they're a boy or a girl. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm about to have a contraction, so I'm gonna go. Hi y'all. So I'm here with my handsome husband, Isaac Shepherd. So I have my epidural. I feel absolutely amazing. I'm very proud of myself for being able to handle up to 5 centimeters, possibly more, because I got my epidural like an hour and a half after they checked me and told me that I was 5 centimeters. But yes, so now I feel absolutely amazing. If I can describe the contractions, it just felt like a lot of like really tight squeezing and downward pushing, and then across my back, my lower back, was just so much pain. And they did last for like a minute, and then when they would subside, I felt completely normal. Like I felt fine. But whenever I was having one, they were horrible. And when I was about to get my epidural, my nurse was like, oh yeah, like you're having them like back to back. So a lot of relief a few minutes after that. A lot of people are like really afraid of the epidural. It wasn't bad at all. Like they put this numbing medication into your back after they find the space that they're going to inject. And so you feel like this bee sting, which it is a sting, but it's nothing in comparison to the contractions that you're feeling. So it's just totally worth it. And so after that numbing medication goes in, then they stick the epidural needle in, and it just feels like pressure after that. So that was great. She set all of that up, and now I have some fluids going. So you get like a bolus of fluids with the epidural, and then I just have maintenance fluids, and then I also got a bag of ampicillin because I am GBS positive. So I think I will get 2 bags of antibiotics. It is now, it was 2, right? 2 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is now 2 a.m. So we've been here for like 2.5 hours, and we will see what time baby comes. I saw my midwife once, but she hasn't checked me yet. So I'm excited to get checked again and see like how we're progressing. As a second time mom, I expect this to be faster. I was in labor for almost 24 hours with my firstborn. But I came in and I was completely closed and yeah, not dilated at all and all the things. So this time should be different because again, when I came in, I was 5 centimeters with a bulging bag, and she told me that my water would break soon. So yeah, now I feel very relaxed. I probably am gonna like try to get some sleep. Isaac and I prayed together. He prayed over me before we left the house. He prayed over the baby, the medical team, all that. So yeah, will probably try to get some rest. He just ate, so I can't eat. I'm just drinking water, but I'm not hungry at all. I think that's it. Yeah, we'll check back with you guys as things progress. So my midwife just came in to check me. I have the peanut ball down here. I don't know if you all can see, but I am now 6 centimeters dilated. It's 3:15. She said she's gonna come back in at about 5:45 and possibly break my water. But if something happens before then where I feel like I need to push, to just press my call light and let them know. So yeah, they were really surprised. Like, I can move my legs and everything, which I guess is like unusual for someone with an epidural, but it was like that with my last pregnancy. I was able to move my legs and my feet and all the things. I just feel pressure when I'm having contractions, but no pain. So I feel great. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit of sleep, because I know once baby comes, it's gonna be hard to sleep. I'm gonna sleep for a little bit. My husband is asleep over there in the corner. I don't even think y'all can see him. He ate, fell asleep. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit of sleep just so I have some energy to meet our little blessing. So my midwife came in and she said that although my contractions were strong, they're getting more spaced out ever since I got the epidural. So she asked how I felt about starting Pitocin, which I was fine with. So my nurse just came in and hung a bag. We just started it. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm hoping that it helps to get the ball rolling. We've only been here for about 5 hours at this point, but yeah, I was assuming, I'm still assuming I'll have the baby by 8, but we'll see what happens. My midwife also mentioned possibly breaking my water. So we'll see if that happens. For some reason, like, I'm tired, but I'm not able to sleep. I don't know if it's like the adrenaline or what. But my husband is sleeping just fine. So I'm like, that's good. He can be up when the baby comes. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get a little bit more rest, especially since I know now that the Pitocin is going, that the ball should really get rolling, and the fact that I'm on Pitocin and 6 centimeters dilated. And if you don't know what Pitocin is, it's just a medication to kind of strengthen your contractions and help you to progress, get them closer together. The last time she checked, I was 80% effaced, so a pretty thin cervix. And yeah, I think she said I was at a -2 station, so I kind of moved my bed up a little bit. They were really surprised at how much I could move with the epidural, but yeah, I've been trying to like move around just a little bit. Does he look like AJ?
Alright, can you bring the bed up?
Hey y'all, so a lot of time has passed. I actually had the baby right over there behind me. So anyways, we got admitted. We went into our labor and delivery room. And y'all, so as soon as we got in there, because I had made enough progress, they were like, you can go ahead and get your epidural. There's so many things that I was not able to film because everything went so fast. This was last night. And so it was like after midnight, right after midnight, the anesthesiologist came in. I think it was a CRNA, certified nurse anesthetist, came in and started my epidural, and like I was having contractions, but I was able to breathe through them. Like, an epidural is not bad. Like, the worst part is just that sting or pinch when they're putting in the numbing medication. And so after that, all you feel is pressure. And she was able to find the spot immediately. She was able to enter the space and, yeah, start my medication, start my drip, and like slowly but surely, like within 10 minutes really, those contractions started to go away. My midwife that was on call for last night came in and checked me. I was 6 centimeters dilated, so I had gotten up to 6 right when I got the epidural. So I was just like, yeah, girl, you're killing it. So I'm like laying there, I'm relaxing, I'm trying to go to sleep, but for some reason I'm not able to. And my midwife comes back in and she tells me like, hey, your contractions have spaced out. Like, when you first got back here, you were having them like every 3 or 4 minutes, but now like they're spacing out. There's more time between them. So she was like, do you want to start Pitocin? I'm not one of those people that's like, you know, no medical interventions, obviously. So I was like, oh, sure, you know, go ahead and start the Pitocin. So the nurse starts it, and baby does not like it. They start it at 6. I'm not in labor and delivery. Y'all can tell me below if that's where you work. I'm like, I don't know if 6 is high or not, but that was their protocol, to start it at 6. And yeah, I started to have D cells. Like, there was a whole team of people that rushed in the room. The nurse rushed in, the midwife rushed in, another nurse, and they were like, we're gonna call it upper level. She turned my Pitocin off, the nurse did, and then like really quickly, like within like maybe 2 minutes, my baby's heart rate went back up. And so they were like, okay. Then she called the midwife, who was actually, because it was a different midwife at the time, I guess my midwife was busy, but she called the midwife who actually prescribed my Pitocin and was like, hey, this is what happened when we started it at 6, so like, can we cut it in half? So they cut it in half. They put it down to 3. I don't know, I think my body was just like really sensitive to it. I had it with my toddler son, and I don't remember, I don't know, I remember decelling right as I was like pushing him out, but I don't know, like not throughout the entire process. But last night, for some reason, my body was just like going crazy to it, and like I was having contractions. They were really like, they were back to back to back, and they were really long. And they cut it, so they cut it in half. They started it at 3, and at first I was okay. Okay, so this happened to me the last time I got an epidural too. I was able to move around in the bed a lot. I felt like I could have gotten up and walked if I wanted to, but of course they're like, no, like don't do that, like you're a falls risk. So I'm like, okay. But it felt the same last night, where I was like, I think he might be hungry. Hold on, y'all. He just ate. He's a little greedy something. Let me see. No, I think he just startled himself. But I was able to like pick my leg up and put it around the peanut ball and all that. Like, they had come to the bed to like help me get into a position, and I was able to do it by myself. So they were like, oh, like we're not used to people moving like this with an epidural. Like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I feel fine. I just have like a little bit of sensation. Like, I felt mostly numbness and tingling in my legs, but I was just able to move them. And so time progressed, and slowly but surely I started to be able to feel the contractions. And at first it was just like a lot of pressure, and then it was like pain. It started to feel like I did before I came into the hospital, where I felt the contraction rising up, getting worse, climaxing, and then coming down. At first, when I was feeling the pressure, I was like, oh, this could be good, because at least I'll know when to push whenever it becomes time. But then when I started to feel the pain, I was like, oh no, something's not right. And so the nurse was in the room, and I was telling her like, hey, I'm in pain. I was describing what the pain felt like. And then there was a midwife in there, and she was like, well, you know, your bag is bulging. Now you're 7 centimeters dilated. That all that pressure is probably coming from that. But I knew it wasn't just pressure, because I had felt just pressure before when I birthed my son, my last pregnancy. And so I was like, something, I don't know, this is just more painful, and it feels like the contractions that I had when I came in. So at first the nurse was like, oh, I'll just call anesthesia to come back in. But when the midwife was like, oh no, this is to be expected, she was like, okay. And so they walked out, and then I called her back in because it started getting so much worse, y'all. And I was like pressing my green button. So if you've never had an epidural before, it's a medication that can be infused continuously or intermittently, but they set it up a certain way. So either it's going to go continuous, intermittent, whatever. So you're getting a fixed dose, but then you also have a button that you can press that's attached to it where you can release more medication, like likely every 10 minutes or so, where you can just like give yourself an extra dose. So I was pressing that green button. Nothing was helping. The contractions were getting worse. Like they were worse than when I was at home. When I was at home, I was like 5 centimeters or below. Now they were telling me I'm like 7 centimeters, and time has passed, so I may have been more than that. And I'm like, it was debilitating. Like I didn't even think to film because I was like about to crawl out of the bed. I felt bad, but I was like, I'm in pain and I need to advocate for myself. So I like call the nurse in there, and I'm like, you have got to call somebody. Something is not right. Like I've had an epidural before. Something's not right. Call them. I'm like, no, absolutely not. I'm not going to be dismissed. So she calls anesthesia to come in, and it's a different nurse anesthetist. And she looks and she's like, everything looks okay. And then she checks like this little filter piece that's connected to whatever the line that's connected into my spine. So she checks that piece and she draws back, and she was like, oh, there's like nothing but air in this piece. And so obviously that's not what was supposed to happen. So she was like, I'm gonna change this piece out. This could be what's happening. And when I tell y'all, it felt like a car was ramming into me at this point. Like my lower back was hurting so bad. I had hopped up, I had gotten on all fours. I was rocking myself back and forth. And the way that I hopped up, it wasn't like the little movement that I felt like I would be able to do earlier. It was like, I can move, like nothing is numb anymore. She had checked me by putting like cold patches on my upper body, comparing it to how I felt in my lower body and each side. And I still felt a little bit of numbness, but I was like, something is not right. Like I'm feeling so much pressure. I'm feeling so much cervical pain, and I'm having like, my back feels like it's on fire. And so she changes out the filter piece, and then she gives me an extra dose of something, and she changes the settings of the epidural pump where I'm going to be getting a little bit more. It took what felt like forever, but eventually everything started getting better. So during that time, my nurse bumped down the Pitocin from 3 to 1. I told her to turn it off because I was like, look, girl, we done. Like, I can't take this. I can't do it. It was, shout out to the natural mamas. I was like, there's no way. So yeah, so anyways, time is passing, and she's like, let me know when I can turn it back on, or I'm like, no time soon. So eventually, like the contractions start getting, like I'm feeling them and they're frequent, but I start being able to bear them more. Like my pain, I told her was at a 9, then it went down to about a 6, and then it was like a 4. So I was like still feeling the contractions, but they were so much more bearable. She left my Pitocin at a 1, and then like all of a sudden I didn't feel anything again. I felt like some pressure, and that was it. No pain like I had in my previous childbirth. So I was like, I know what I was talking about. Anyways, so advocate for yourself as a patient. So obviously whatever they did fixed it. And also when I was on all fours, I was like looking at my fitted sheet on my bed, and I was like, oh my goodness, the fitted sheet is soaking wet. So all of the medication was just draining out from the filter piece that she had replaced, and it was just draining out onto the bed. Like it wasn't going into my back. And so that is why I was in so much pain, because I'm like 7-8 centimeters dilated, getting contractions from Pitocin with no medication. Oh my gosh, y'all. I can't believe I was able to endure that. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, women are amazing, because I was in tears. Like my husband was trying to rub my arm and I'm like, it's not working right now. Like nothing is working. They put hot packs on my back. Like they were trying to do so many different things. And I'm like, I need the medicine. I need the medicine. So anywho, the medication starts working. My midwife comes in to check on me and she's like, how are you feeling now? I was like, okay, now I'm feeling good. She checks my cervix and I am at a 9. I'm 9 centimeters dilated. I think she said I was like 90% effaced. And she was like, I'm gonna go ahead and break your water and we'll see if this will put you over the edge and get you to 10 centimeters. So she breaks my water and y'all, she broke my water. The baby started to decel because she was like, I'm gonna break your water and then about an hour I'm sure we'll be ready to push, because I was still on the one of Pitocin. I was having contractions really regularly, like maybe every 2 to 3 minutes. So she breaks my water and then baby started to decel. So like as soon as she walked out, my nurse called her back in and she was like trying to move my monitor around my stomach and was like, you know, I'm like, she was having problems getting a good heart rate, one that was like where it needed to be. And so she called my midwife back in. She like literally had walked out and turned back around and she was like, you know what, let's push. I'm like, so that's why I didn't have time to set y'all up, because I was gonna have to hide the phone in the corner somewhere because I don't know their filming policy, but I just wanted to catch the moment. Well, y'all, I didn't have time. So she was like, let's go ahead and push. And it was crazy because when she broke my water, it was like boom, like it splashed all over her. She had to go change her scrubs, so she must have done that really quickly. Like she went and changed and came right back in. Oh my gosh. So she was like, let's go ahead and push. She's calling for somebody to come set up the table. I'm pushing with her there and she was like, oh my gosh, Courtney, you're doing such good pushes. I'm like, I have my legs up, a nurse is on one side, my husband's on one side. He's playing our favorite like gospel / CCM playlist. I told him like certain songs that I wanted to have played. So like definitely during me pushing, I was like, you have been so good to me. Like that is my jam. And so when as soon as she told me to start pushing, that song playing in the background, I just started crying as I'm like, I'm about to meet my miracle, my blessing from God. I was just so excited. So I pushed and she was like, oh, these are really good pushes. You're doing good. I pushed like maybe 5 or 6 times. The hardest part was getting baby's head out, of course. And I pushed like maybe 3 or 4 times, got his head out, and then like 2 pushes, his body comes out. And then like a good push, the placenta came out. And they just laid him on me and we did skin to skin, and it was such a beautiful moment. And I love that in my last pregnancy, we also did not find out whether it was a boy or a girl until we delivered. And so my husband announced to the room the sex. He was like a little shooketh because he ain't never seen a baby come out before, so he was kind of just like staring. And then I was like, babe, like you said that you were gonna say what the sex, like what is it, a boy or a girl? So he announced the gender. This time he was on it. He looked and he was like, it's a boy. His name is, so surprise, surprise, we had another boy. We're gonna have 2 little rambunctious boys running around our house, 2 leaders, 2 just trendsetters for the Lord who are going to be bold in their faith. We have prayed about that throughout the entire pregnancy. And we chose their names for a reason. So this is Joshua Levi. Joshua named after Joshua, who led the Israelites into the promised land. He's going to be bold and courageous. I'm just so happy. And I said Levites because, you know, Levites, the priesthood of the Israelites. So we chose that name for a boy. We had a different name chosen for a girl, but if we ever get pregnant with a girl, we'll probably use that name, so I'm not going to share it. But yeah, he was like laying on my chest and he was just perfect. He was so perfect. We still don't know who he looks like. Let me show y'all. He's like right over there hanging out. He's been nursing and going to sleep, Like he put in a lot of work, you know, with the whole delivery thing, but that's fine. So yeah, he came at 10:57 a.m. I think if I hadn't like been stalled by the epidural, I probably would have had him a lot sooner, because I had progressed to like 7 and then it just, everything slowed down. And so it probably helped me that the epidural stopped working, even though that was insane. So I had him. We stayed over on the labor and delivery unit for a few hours, just a little bit, until my room was ready. Now we're over on the postpartum unit, and my husband just went to go get our son, so they're gonna meet for the first time. I might throw that in here. But yeah, we just got over here. I just fed him and laid him down. He's, like I said, very tired. I'm gonna eat. They gave me a box lunch. Sorry. Like a turkey sandwich and some chips and a little fruit cup, which is really all I need. And I asked for some apple juice. So I got these little baby apple juices. I'm gonna try to eat that before my son gets up here and starts running all over the place. But I'm so excited for him to meet his brother. Oh yeah, let me show y'all. I've got oxytocin up there, or Pitocin. So the rest of the bag runs just to kind of help your uterus continue to contract down to its normal size, and it also just prevents you from hemorrhaging. So like if your uterus is still hard, it's still contracting, like prevents the hemorrhages and all that. So this bag is gonna run through. Yep. And my nurse over here has been absolutely amazing. The PCA has been amazing, which I'm like, ooh, Lord, thank you for a good experience, because postpartum last time was like a little wonky. Like I had an amazing experience in labor and delivery. Then when they transferred me, I was like, ooh, and it's the same hospital, but it has been great this time. So let me tend to my little nugget and I'll be back. Okay, so how are you feeling?
I feel grateful to make it to the end of the journey.
The journey's just beginning.
One thing to conceive, and then another thing to carry to full term. So
That's true.
Just grateful that we made it through that pregnancy journey, and with the safe delivery and healthy child and healthy mom. So I'm grateful.
You were so supportive. You did so good. You did so good. How does it feel to be like a parent of 2? Did you see this for yourself in your 20s?
This is what I wanted, but it is surreal. Just seeing AJ and then seeing this kid.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but they're both my children.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And they look like you.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have the words to explain it. It's definitely different, definitely new. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels different.
It does.
It's just hard to explain it, but just seeing
it's different this
the
time
newborn
around too.
Yeah, everything is different because we've done all this before. But he's a completely different person.
He is. He is. He's so sweet. He's so cute. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to take him home and get him into our routine with Buddy. Yeah, hopefully he'll like him.
They interacted well yesterday.
They did do a really good job. But yeah, I really couldn't have asked for a better experience. Like I feel like, except for everything with the epidural, everything else, all of our providers and the nurses have been great. Even like over here in postpartum has been great. And my husband was like, he calls the toddler every morning. This is like morning 2 of not being with the toddler. So he's back there on the phone with my mother-in-law. Toddler's grandma is keeping him.
Okay, well.
and likely, I don't know. My doctor just came to see me and said that I'm okay to be discharged today. So it's next day, next morning. She said I look fine. She would put in discharge orders, but they're going to be dependent on our son. So we'll have to wait and see what the pediatrician says about him. But yeah, it would be great to be able to go home and just have the boys together in our comfy space.
Okay. All right.
Okay, y'all, we are finally heading home. It is, I think it's been like 48 hours since we've been in the hospital. We ran into just a little hiccup yesterday because baby was a bit congested, which was causing his oxygen to drop. But it cleared up and he had a great night and he didn't need any interventions today, so we're able to head home. So we can't wait for him to go in and be able to spend some time with his big brother. So his dad is getting the car and they're gonna check the car seat and then we can get on out of here. Thank God. I'm just so thankful to God for a healthy baby, a healthy delivery, no complications, because things can turn really quickly.